Quite a few times.
50 times?
More.
100 times?
More.
200 times?
More.
500 times?
Probably.
Surely it ain't just me that's like that. I've watched the trailer in 2 times speed, half time speed, 0.25 times speed. I've watched it backwards, I've watched it forwards. And in this video, I'm gonna be using that obsessiveness to show you guys the absolute smallest details you missed from this trailer. Yes, I've already done a video going over 100 things, 100 plus things you probably have already missed, which I'll leave a link at the top right. You can check it out if you haven't already. But after watching this thing so many more times, there's just so many more little things that you just don't pick up on the first couple of times you watch this trailer. And let me just tell you guys, the jiggle physics in this game are insane. Rockstar, you're goated for that. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into the smallest details you missed from this trailer. And we will actually start with the jiggle physics, because I'm sure that's what everyone wants to see. The best part is that it seems like there's equality when it comes to jiggle physics, both for male and female characters. And one of the best places to see this in the trailer is, of course, on that beach scene. You can see the woman on the right and we have the guy on the left. They're both jogging. And if I slow this down and play it back and forth, you can actually see just the subtlety of the physics, of those jiggle physics. You can see the guy on the left's chest muscles slightly moving as he's jogging. And of course, you can see the lady on the right, the jiggle physics as well. Also, you can notice her hair is moving. And that is a big part of the physics in this game. You gotta remember, this is also supposedly a gameplay sequence. This isn't pre-rendered, this isn't, you know, a CGI clip. This is what you're gonna see. This is how you're gonna see the NPCs walking around and doing things. That seems to be the one thing Rockstar is going above and beyond on in this game, the physics. I know I've seen some people complain about how the graphics don't look, you know, like realism, like they're not photorealistic, but I don't think Rockstar was really focusing too much on the graphics. I think they're really focusing on making the physics hyper realistic. And I will showcase a lot of other examples in this video. Here we of course have some more jiggle physics, the lady twerking in the car. To think about that a Rockstar employee, or you know, a handful of Rockstar employees worked for probably months on twerk physics. That is why we all love Rockstar. And then of course we have this chunky guy. It's a little bit harder to notice because this one is much further away. I had to zoom in quite a bit to actually see this, but you can also kind of see the jiggleness on his body as he is just, you know, jumping up and down, running away from the cops. And I just want to showcase this. Obviously, you've seen this many times. There's still a debate going on if this is Lucia or not. Let us know in the comments if you think this is Lucia. I honestly don't know, but it doesn't matter. If we just slow this down and play it back and forth, the hair just looks so good. The hair physics look incredible. Like, this is insane that this is real gameplay and not a cinematic. Even her jewelry and earrings and even the strap on the back of her bathing suit is moving and has physics. That's why I say the level of detail that Rockstar is putting into the physics in this game is on a level that I don't think we've ever really seen before. And here we have another clip showcasing the physics, this time of a car seat. Yeah, a freaking car seat. That's the level of detail Rockstar put into this game. Watch her seat as she is looking backwards. It actually reacts to the amount of weight on it. That is such a small thing. You will probably never even really notice that when you're playing the game. But the fact that Rockstar actually went into the level of detail of making that a realistic looking thing, that is just absurd. Here's another clip. You'll notice, look at her dress. It actually crinkles when she is moving around. Under her right arm, sort of towards the top of her dress, you actually can see it crinkling. And even on her back, you will notice the dress sort of, you know, crinkling up, or whatever you want to call it, when she is moving. Physics. The physics are just everywhere. Now, while we're actually taking a look at this part of the trailer, you'll actually notice that we're getting ambient lighting in cars now. So for all the people out there who love customizing your vehicles, that's just another level that they've added to the game. We're gonna go back to that beach scene here because there's a couple of things that we missed out on the first go around. Number one, check out these NPCs throwing catch sort of with a beer can. And from everything we know, this is a real gameplay sequence. Like, you will be able to see this when you go into the game. This isn't a cinematic, this isn't pre-rendered. So NPCs will just casually be throwing beer cans around. I will just say it's gonna be hilarious to see what this crowd does when you like shoot your gun in the air, or I guess at someone. Like imagine all 100 plus of those NPCs just scattering and screaming. That sounds kind of psychotic. I realize that, but imagine all the different animations and physics and all that stuff that's going to apply when that sort of thing happens. We also, in this scene, if we zoom in on this guy, this is something we didn't catch on the first go around, but he is actually wearing AirPods. I hope that not only do we get AirPods as like a customization option, we probably will. They've added them to GTA Online, so I'm assuming they'll add them to GTA 6 as a customization option, but I hope they actually work. I hope we could maybe listen to the radio or listen to music as long as, you know, it's, I guess, connected to your phone. I'm assuming that would be a really cool thing. Obviously, the radio stations in GTA have been great. Like that's one of the best reasons to play the game. Having that while you're on foot would be such a cool feature. Here in this shot, you can actually see, guys, do we have sandal physics? Are there freaking sandal physics? You can see her foot is actually like she's stepping up and the sandal is still remaining on the ground while her foot is not connected to the sandal. I mean, the level of detail, absurd. Now, here's been a debate that a lot of people are having. The shot that opens the trailer, we actually see a city in the distance. There's been a debate on whether or not this is Vice City or if it's one of the other cities that are rumored to be in the game. Well, unfortunately, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it does look to just be Vice City from a different angle. This picture shows all of the same buildings just from a different perspective. So we haven't yet gotten a look at some of the other cities. Maybe Rockstar are still working on them, or maybe they just didn't want to show them off. But hopefully we don't have to wait too much longer to see some of the other cities and some of the other parts of the map in this game. And one cool thing that some people have noticed, you can actually see the same building from 4 different perspectives in the trailer. So the building circled here, it's got a pretty unique roof to it. You'll actually see it looking east, looking north, looking south, and looking west. So this also maybe gives you a slight perspective of what the actual city part of the map is going to look like and how big certain things are and how far away certain places are going to be. Because you can see in the west picture, it is pretty far away. Obviously, that's the beach we're looking at when we're looking west. But I thought that was a pretty cool little detail. Also, speaking of the map, there was this shot from the beginning of the trailer. You can see this photo in the background. A lot of people were maybe speculating that this could be the Lake Leonida, like the big lake in the middle of the map. I doubt it, mainly because there are mountains. There's not really those type of mountains anywhere near Florida. Like even if you go up to Tennessee and Georgia and other places like that, you don't get those sort of mountains. Those are more western mountains. So I think that's just a picture, but I would be kind of down to have a map or to have a lake like that, even though it doesn't really fit. Now, because it is Florida and there aren't any mountains, this might be the tallest point in the game. And they might have showed it off in the trailer. The giant tower that's just sort of like in the middle here. In real life, you can actually see this tower does exist and it is 1,900 feet, which is actually bigger than the bank tower or the Maze Bank Tower in GTA 5. So again, maybe some perspective there. Apparently that could be the tallest point in this game. Imagine climbing that. Imagine just having a single ladder you have to climb to get to the top. That would take forever. Now, while we are on this sort of tallest point and mountainous terrain topic, we actually did see some mountains or hills in the trailer. The one that's the most obvious is at the end of the trailer. You can see through the window, there is a sliver of a slight hill. It's not a mountain at all. I mean, that's not even that tall of a hill, but there is some hilly terrain. So that is good to see. This is more than likely, again, up north in the map. The ones that are a little bit more questionable though, because it is just speculation, they're too far away to truly know. If we take this shot and then actually lower the brightness a bit, you'll notice these lines in the far distance, and I'll try and zoom in on them. I don't think these are clouds, mainly because they are too low, and obviously there are clouds in the rest of the shot, and they don't look the same. So I'm sort of thinking that these are some of the hills in the game. Again, not mountains, I guess, but this is definitely a lot closer to Vice City, so maybe it gets hilly, and then once you get further north, maybe it gets more mountainous. But assuming this is a hilly area, I guess that is kind of cool that the whole map isn't just going to be completely flat. There is going to be some variety in the terrain. Again, though, that is maybe just some speculation. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think those are mountains, or not mountains, but do you think those are some sort of hill, or do you think that is something else entirely? I don't know what else it could be, but maybe it is, whatever that could be. Moving to some of the other smaller things you might not have noticed, we have in this beach shot, if we zoom in, there's actually a little kayak or canoe. Obviously, this doesn't confirm because it's just sitting there that you can use it. But I mean, surely if they've gone into the effort of making the world and the water and everything super, super realistic, surely we can canoe or kayak, maybe even surf. Obviously, that's a speculation. That's a rumor that's been going around. But it's good to see that at least, you know, there is a canoe in the game and it's on the beach. Hopefully we can use it. Another small little detail is that we will see birds on cables, like on the electric wires. Obviously you see this all the time in real life, but it is cool to see it in the game. Of course, look, it's not a major thing. It's not changing the game, but it is cool to see. And sort of on that same topic, here we have a picture of Spanish moss growing on the jail chained linked fences. Again, not a major thing, but it is cool to see that level of detail. Also, speaking of level of detail, I don't know exactly what they're called, but the part that comes after the strip when you're driving around at night, it actually reflects light. So that is cool to see. That is a nice little attention to detail thing. Also, another small little thing I noticed was the different license plates. You can see there is this license plate, which looks to have a flamingo on it. We also have this license plate, which I don't know exactly what that is. It looks green, so I'm thinking maybe like an alligator, a turtle. I don't know, but it does look different. And then, of course, we had the one with the cheetah that just said Leonite. I think it was green. So again, just adding more to the customization of cars. Some more little details you might have missed in the animal part of the trailer. If we zoom in here on the right, obviously there's all the other animals, but there's this one little mysterious animal that is just, it's in the dark. It's just black. You really can't tell what it is. It almost looks like a bear, but I don't know if bears live in the Everglades. Maybe I could be wrong on that, but let us know your thoughts in the comments on what you think that could be. Also in this shot, we can actually see some of the attachments on the gun I'm assuming that's like an M16. Looks to be some sort of holographic sight or something. So I'm sure there'll be a decent amount of weapon customization in this game as well. We have two things here from the beginning of the trailer. The first thing at the bottom right, you can actually see a picture of what I'm assuming is Lucia's family. There is a rumor that she has a kid and that the point of the story is that she's doing whatever she does for the kid. I don't know if, you know, one of those people are her kid. I mean, they look pretty old. So maybe it's her parents, maybe it's her siblings. I don't know exactly, but it is kind of cool to maybe see. Maybe they'll be a part of the game. Maybe they won't. Maybe it's just a thing they've added here, but figured I would mention it. And then also with this scene, you can actually see the ray traced global illumination. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen, the wall. So what global illumination actually is, the light from outside is reflecting off of her orange jumpsuit and then hitting the wall. That's what happens like in real life. And you'll actually notice that when she turns and is no longer facing the wall, that orange light has almost disappeared. So the ray tracing, the global illumination is looking pretty phenomenal. And then I believe one of the final things we're going to mention in this video is actually the amount of money you will be able to steal from these little bank robberies or these little gas station robberies. It looks like it's a lot more realistic. Now we're going to assume the amount of money that Jason here is carrying is like the amount of money and it's not just for show, because of course, you know, in GTA 5, it's a little pack of money, but it's like a $500 or something like that. Assuming they're staying true to being realistic, that looks to be only 10 bills, and we're going to assume they're $20 bills. So that's only about $200 that they're walking away from this robbery with. And that also checks out in this clip when we have Lucia holding the money. You can actually notice this time a little bit better, it's a $20 bill. And it looks like she's maybe holding 11 of them. So that's what, $220? So I wanted to throw that in here for a discussion on how realistic the robberies are going to be and how realistic the amount of money you make is going to be. It looks like it's going to be a lot more grounded in this game. Again, assuming this isn't just for show, and that's, you know, even though it says it's a $20 bill, it's not. Assuming that is real, if you're only going to these gas station robberies getting, you know, $200 a pop, this might be a lot slower paced of a game if other things cost thousands of dollars. which I know some people will love. I also know some people will hate. But again, I thought that was a really cool little detail to mention. And then the absolutely final thing, this is a theory here. We obviously have Jason and Lucia. It is rumored that their story is a Bonnie and Clyde story, but in modern day. Is Rockstar throwing a hint here? In the artwork, the car that they're on has some bullet holes in it. Well, if you don't know how Bonnie and Clyde's story ends, this is their car in real life. This is how it ended. So is that a tease? Is that a hint from Rockstar that something similar might happen to Jason or Lucia or both of them? That would be kind of crazy. I don't know if they're willing to go the route of killing both of the main characters at the end of the game, but is that some foreshadowing? So those were all the little smallest details you might have missed from the GTA 6 trailer. Hopefully, I think we might have covered everything so far as far as some of the details in the trailer. Obviously, there's a couple of other GTA 6 videos I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. We still want to talk about the police cars and just the police presence in the game. I still want to make a video on all the GTA 6 brands. So if you're interested in that, maybe I'll even do one on some of the animals because there were a decent amount of them in the trailer. So be on the lookout for all that stuff over the next couple of days. If you guys did find this video helpful and found it enjoyable, please drop the video a like. That would be much appreciated. Also subscribe for more GTA 6 content. There will be a lot more of it coming up, but that is going to do it for today's GTA 6 video. Thank you guys for watching. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.